It is literally freezing down here. It's been a while since I put out any new videos here. It's probably been a week or so. I've been moving in a big move, and so I had to move my gardens and everything, so that was a big move. So I apologize that you had to wait for me to tear into these things. And then I've been going through some detoxing. Got me a couple of good watermelons yesterday, and I put them out on the porch this morning. They were almost froze, but that didn't stop me from tearing them apart. Well, good morning, everyone, and I hope that this finds you all very well. I hope your journey is doing well, and hope you're all happy. And that's the most important thing, is to get your joy back, and whether it's physical health or spirituality or the combination of both. And I like the combination of both because you can't separate yourself from yourself. It's always you, no matter where you take your body. You notice you're always dragging along with the body for the most part, and or bodies, should I say. I think it's important that we get accustomed to the fact of how we are put together. And how creation is put together. Shouldn't offend anybody religiously. The simple making of creation, how the mental worlds are the next step down out of the infinite, out of the awe, where you have the mind which controls creation basically, and works in dualistic terms. And so I hope you all find well. I was meditating over the weekend, and I had a good dissertation for you spiritually, but it's so cold. My mind is kind of freezing over in the corner, so I thought I would try to catch up on some of these answers. I think I have the morning with you, but I'm not sure yet. See where we're at. I wanted to thank a lot of you guys for your love and support. There's no question. This beautiful card is from Yaz. And Yaz, you know I love you, bro, on all levels. I love all of you guys. You're all just outstanding, beautiful souls to me. And I want to thank you, and I want to particularly thank those that are doing the Facebook. I'll break in on that here soon. But I wanted to thank you all for your taking your time and putting this together, because there's no question this planet needs a good enema or a colonic, and getting the consciousness up. You know, I was looking at Whitney Houston, you know, and this is probably going to be another pharmaceutical death. But it's okay. Just another pharmaceutical death. But, you know, I have to admit, we all have to take full responsibility for our actions. You have to understand that just because something's on the market, your responsibility is, do I take it or not? And the problem with is there's so many trusting souls out there. And I feel sorry for these are just good, loving, trusting souls that, yeah, okay, this is good. You made it. It shouldn't hurt me. And that's the problem. And so it's just the same old day, you know, same old thing there. And this is another beautiful card here. I really appreciate that card. I don't know if I should mention too many names. Paulette, beautiful, beautiful card. I just love what you said there. Steps toward inner peace. She gave me this little steps toward inner peace. You know, when you start looking at life in a way, we tend to shut out the outside and go within. And that's the nature of it, whether you call it prayer. But a lot of times we associate prayer with conversation, where we're asking for something. And unfortunately, those that realize that it all comes through you anyway, you don't have to ask. And there's a lot of that going on, where meditation is more listening. However, after a point, when you're working in the now, there is no more inner or outer. The inner and the outer merge and become the self again, and all becomes God again. So just keep working in the now. Anytime you separate yourself from yourself, I had a lady in the other day talking about my soul, and I said, well, wait a minute here. You've got a soul, yeah. Who are you then? And that's, you kind of had to think a minute, and this is the thing, is where the mind isolates and separates, and you tend to get away from who you really are. So important to work in that now and practice in the presence of always observation, because observation, of course, is consciousness, and you get to see a lot more and know a lot more if you just hang. And it seems a little odd just to hang, but really there's nothing to be said about anything. There's squabbles going on here in different levels and stuff, and it just doesn't matter. I mean, you can argue all you want about health and this is right and that's right and we should do this and we shouldn't do that. However, I think that we've shown and demonstrated that in a simplistic manner, health is easy to understand and and it's achievable. And I find it ironic that one has to say achievable because some people are way out there in their lymph systems and in their genetic weaknesses. And you have to understand that when you're aware of your own, so many people in here become aware of their own weaknesses and the amount of lymph toxicity that they've accumulated, and it isn't always pleasant to understand that. So it's not important in the sense that it shouldn't take your joy away from you. These are just bodies you're using, and you really need to forget about it and just focus on health and enjoy the ecstasy of raw foods and the high level of fruit and berries and melons and what that does to your consciousness. It's amazing the difference. I think a lot of you are finding that out. So, when you demonstrate in clinical work like this over and over again that people have remedy. Look at some of you guys that haven't been able to walk well for years, and now you're walking, and so many people are out of pain, and some of you are going through real hellville to get to Wellville, no question about it. My heart's with you. And there are some advanced people that might not be able to make it physically, and there's a couple of you guys that are on the cusps of staying here or leaving. You have to understand that you must get a hold of yourself and make your joy yourself, because in leaving, you're simply going to another form, another world, where you'll have even more fun. So we're so much fear about translating from leaving this body and going to the next dimension. But one must let go and go with joy and bliss and know, get right with yourself and with God, because the other side of us is a way station. The other side of what we do here is help you pass. If it's time for you to leave this planet, then it's time for you to go. Then go and have fun. We'll be with you. You have plenty of spiritual guides out there that work with us and every one of you guys. Sometimes they're always in the background. But if you'll look around, you'll find your spiritual guide. And so enjoy both things. Always enjoy the present, no matter where it puts you, in the physical world, in the astral world, in the mental worlds. The more you that you can become. And there's no guidelines. There's no image for you to become to. That's the mind. You can only exist and be in the now. And so it's a trip. But the more that you do that, your survival, conscious-wise, is assured. It's all about being aware or unaware, awake or sleeping, because you are always you. You can't lose yourself. You can't kill yourself. You don't die. You simply move from one arena of activity to another arena of activity, and it's not going to be strange for those, because all of you have astral bodies. All of you, you'll see your friends. All of us are everywhere. We have multiple bodies, all within the dimensions here. So have fun on that. So thank you so much. The dates, I love the dates. And that big box of oranges and all the little and sundry fruits, man, suck those babies down. So I want to give my love to every one of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's so much of your love, and I hope this finds you all well. So at this time, I'd like to go through some of your questions. Again, I'm so far behind, I doubt if I'll ever be able to catch up, because it takes a while to explain some of these issues. And I'm hoping that you don't get frustrated with that and understand that each case that we go over is a case study, and important for you as a healer to pick up that, because you'll have everything from simplistic cases like, pneumonias and, cold and flu-like symptoms and bites from spiders and stuff like this, all the way to, the diabetes and things, which isn't difficult, and then move on into, your more difficult lymphatic problems. Arthritis can be a very chronic problem that takes you a long time to unwind. So you have to look at some of these things and not get frustrated. Just get all your knowledge in order and get your tools, and then go for it, and quit trying to keep getting more tools. It can go nuts. And David Wolf and some of these other people, Harvey Diamond is a good example of people that get excited about raw foods and then they waver and take off on another path, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with any of us wavering and going to another direction. I have no judgment at all, because this world's a tough world, and a lot of stressors on every levels. And you have, of course, the multiple bodies, so you have stressors mentally, emotionally, and, of course, physically. So there is no judgment. The teamwork that we offer the world here is the ability to get well both physically and spiritually, and I think that's essential, that we work together, and we'll iron out our differences. Someone did ask me while I was thinking about a spider bite, someone asked me, what do you do if you got bit by a rattlesnake? Well, I'll say this: if you're out in the woods, always take a lymphatic formula with you. Particularly lymphatic 1 is good, but any of them, but lymphatic 1 would be my prime choice. Anything that I have a lot of plantain in, but all the lymphatic formulas are definitely for neurotoxins and cytotoxins and things like this. So definitely would consider that. I think Parasite M would have some antivenom issues to it as well. But definitely your lymphatic formulas, or something high in plantain. But all of those are similar. Bloodroot, poke root, all of those are very powerful. We get a lot of recluse spider bites in here. The hospital just pumps them from antibiotics. Well, these are neurotoxins and things, and so cytotoxins, you're not going to use antibiotics and do well, and they don't do well. They come in here with big problems, and we clean them up fairly quickly. Not difficult, really. And so that would be true with any type of even aggressive bacteria, where the body has decayed to the point that you become quite a host. Then obviously you can go by and always think about the lymph system. Seems oversimplistic, and I'm a broken record when it comes to that. And I really, I hope I am a broken record, because if you get it, your whole life will be changed in what you can do with others and what you can do with yourself. Way too much attention on the blood and very little on the lymph system, and you guys are the king of the lymph now. So understanding that lymph system and the role of the kidneys, I think, is vital. No matter what their theories hit you, realize the role of the kidneys, because if you forget the kidneys, you'll lose your health there. So always remember that. So let's kind of go into some of these questions, and I hope you're all warm and cozy, because it's still a little cold in here. We didn't turn on the heater.